Welcome to Motive Mystery, where the wisdom of the ages meets the challenges of today. In today's video, we delve into the life and philosophy of Baruch Spinoza, one of the most influential rationalists of the 17th century. Spinoza's work laid the groundwork for the Enlightenment and modern biblical criticism, significantly impacting the development of Western thought. Baruch Spinoza, born into a Sephardic Jewish family in Amsterdam, faced excommunication for his radical views challenging traditional religious beliefs. His masterpiece, Ethics, written in a geometric style, presents an all-encompassing worldview that seeks to understand the universe through the lens of reason. Spinoza's philosophy, centered on the concept of substance and the unity of the universe, has inspired generations to rethink their perception of God, nature, and human emotions. His thoughts on freedom, ethics, and politics continue to resonate in today's complex world. Join us as we explore 30 of Spinoza's most profound quotes, each reflecting the depth and enduring relevance of his visionary insights. The highest activity a human being can attain is learning for understanding, because to understand is to be free. In an era marked by transformative thoughts, Baruch Spinoza, a philosopher of the 17th century, stood out with his focus on rationality and understanding. At the core of Spinoza's philosophy lies the belief that knowledge and understanding are pivotal to human liberation. Freedom, he posited, is rooted in our ability to think and understand. Amidst the complexities of our modern era, Spinoza's words shine a light on the significance of understanding, empowering us to navigate life with informed clarity and intention. I do not know how to teach philosophy without becoming a disturber of the peace. Baruch Spinoza, known for his audacious approach to philosophy, often found himself at odds with the status quo. This statement reflects the idea that philosophy must challenge existing beliefs to seek deeper truths. Encourages critical thinking and active discourse, reminding us that intellectual comfort often hinders philosophical growth. If you want the present to be different from the past, study the past. Drawing from the wisdom of ancient thinkers, this adage insists on the importance of understanding history. The quote underscores the value of historical context in influencing present conditions. Calls to learn from historical precedents, ensuring that future advancements are informed by lessons of the past. Everything excellent is as difficult as it is rare. In a world enamored with quick success, Spinoza's words serve as a reminder of the value of persistent effort. This quote encapsulates the paradox of excellence, aspired to by many but attained by few due to its inherent challenges. Stands as a testament to the enduring value of diligence and the rarity of true mastery in any field. I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human actions, but to understand them. Spinoza advocated for approaching life with an intent to comprehend rather than judge, demonstrating his commitment to empathy and reason. This quote emphasizes the importance of seeking to understand others' perspectives, as true insight comes from thoughtful consideration. Encourages a culture of understanding in today's society, valuing human experiences as opportunities for learning and growth. Peace is not the absence of war, it is a virtue, a state of mind, a disposition of benevolence, confidence, justice. Spinoza's philosophy suggests that peace is an internal achievement, reflecting a personal commitment to ethical principles. Highlights that peace is a proactive state cultivated through virtue and moral character rather than merely the absence of conflict. Relevant today as it inspires individuals to foster a peaceful mindset as the foundation for societal harmony and justice. Those who wish to seek out the cause of miracles and to understand the things of nature as philosophers, and not to stare at them in astonishment like fools, are soon considered heretical and impious, and proclaimed as such by those whom the mob adores as the interpreters of nature and the gods. For these men know that, once ignorance is put aside, that wonderment would be taken away, which is the only means by which their authority is preserved. Spinoza challenges the notion that wonderment should lead to passive acceptance, advocating for a rational examination of the world. Conveys that critical thinking and scientific inquiry are necessary to move beyond superficial understanding to profound knowledge. Calls out the importance of education and the pursuit of knowledge in dispelling ignorance and challenging the status quo for progress. Do not weep. Do not wax indignant. Understand. Spinoza urges a move away from emotional reactions towards rational comprehension, emphasizing emotional mastery. This quote advocates for approaching life's challenges with a mindset geared towards understanding, not mere reaction. Highlights the power of comprehension as a tool for navigating life's adversities, promoting a culture of empathy and wisdom. What Paul says about Peter tells us more about Paul than about Peter. Spinoza's insight reflects on the nature of judgment and criticism, revealing more about the speaker than the subject. Suggests that comments made by one person about another often reveal their own biases and perspectives. Encourages self-awareness and caution in our judgments about others, advocating for a more introspective and less judgmental society. Be not astonished at new ideas, for it is well known to you that a thing does not therefore cease to be true because it is not accepted by many. Spinoza encourages openness to innovation and the recognition that truth isn't determined by popularity. This quote underscores the importance of individual critical thinking and the pursuit of truth, regardless of societal acceptance. Calls to value the truth for its own sake, fostering an environment where new ideas are evaluated on their merits, not their widespread acceptance. I would warn you that I do not attribute to nature either beauty or deformity, order or confusion. Only in relation to our imagination can things be called beautiful or ugly, well-ordered or confused. Spinoza challenged the subjective labeling of nature, advocating for a more objective viewpoint that transcends personal bias. This quote reflects the philosophical view that perceptions of beauty and order are constructs of the human mind. Encourages the recognition that our assessments of the world around us are often influenced by our personal experiences and perspectives. Emotion, which is suffering, ceases to be suffering as soon as we form a clear and precise picture of it. Spinoza posits that by understanding the nature of our emotions, we can transform our experience of suffering. The essence of this quote lies in the power of awareness and the clarity of thought to alleviate emotional distress. In our modern search for well-being, this quote suggests that introspection and understanding are key to overcoming emotional hurdles. I have striven not to laugh at human actions, not to weep at them, nor to hate them, but to understand them. Echoing his earlier sentiment, Spinoza remains consistent in his pursuit to comprehend rather than react emotionally to human behavior. This quote emphasizes the philosopher's commitment to empathy and rational analysis of actions. Today, it serves as a reminder that understanding others is a more constructive approach than judgment or emotional reaction. Insofar as the mind sees things in their eternal aspect, it participates in eternity. Spinoza recognized the human ability to perceive beyond the temporal, to grasp the infinite. This quote speaks to the concept that understanding the timeless nature of existence offers a share in the eternal. Encourages a perspective that aligns with the timeless, allowing for a sense of connection with the perpetual. The endeavor to understand is the first and only basis of virtue. For Spinoza, the pursuit of understanding was the essence of moral life, the foundation upon which virtue is built. This quote highlights the intrinsic link between the quest for knowledge and the cultivation of virtue. Suggests that in our contemporary quest for goodness, true virtue starts with the desire and effort to understand. Pride is pleasure arising from a man's thinking too highly of himself. Spinoza saw pride as a distortion of self-perception, an overestimation of one's importance. The essence of this quote is that pride is rooted in an inflated sense of self, detached from reality. Reminds us today to seek humility, to maintain a balanced self-view aligned with our true nature and capabilities. The greatest secret of monarchic rule is to keep men deceived and to cloak in the specious name of religion the fear by which they must be checked, so that they will fight for slavery as they would for salvation, and will think it not shameful, but a most honorable achievement, to give their life and blood that one man may have a ground for boasting. Spinoza critically examines the manipulation of the masses under monarchical systems, where false narratives are used to control. This quote delves into the abuse of power, where fear and religion are tools for the subjugation of people. Reflects on the dangers of political systems that exploit belief and fear, urging vigilance against such manipulation in the pursuit of freedom. There can be no hope without fear, and no fear without hope. Spinoza acknowledges the intertwined nature of hope and fear, suggesting that they arise from the same source and are inseparable. This quote highlights the duality of human emotion, where hope and fear are two sides of the same coin. Reminds us of the balance required in life's emotional experiences, and how each sentiment can fuel the other in our journey. A free man thinks of nothing less than of death, and his wisdom is a meditation not on death, but on life. Spinoza defines a free person as one who focuses on the affirmation of life rather than the fear of death. The essence of this quote is the celebration of life and the pursuit of wisdom that enhances our existence. In contemporary society, it encourages living fully in the present and valuing life as the ultimate form of freedom. Of all the things that are beyond my power, I value nothing more highly than to be allowed the honor of entering into bonds of friendship with people who sincerely love truth. For, of things beyond our power, I believe there is nothing in the world which we can love with tranquility except such men. Spinoza holds the friendship of those who seek truth above all else, as it aligns with his philosophical values. This quote reflects the deep appreciation for authentic relationships based on the shared love of truth and understanding, emphasizes the importance of intellectual camaraderie and the peaceful love of truth as a guiding principle in life. In practical life, we are compelled to follow what is most probable. In speculative thought, we are compelled to follow truth. Spinoza distinguishes between the everyday practical decisions and the higher pursuit of philosophical truth. The quote addresses the tension between likely outcomes and the quest for absolute truth in our thought processes. Highlights the challenge of balancing practicality with idealism, encouraging integrity in both action and thought. Better that right counsels be known to enemies than that the evil secrets of tyrants should be concealed from the citizens. They who can treat secretly of the affairs of a nation have it absolutely under their authority, and as they plot against the enemy in time of war, so do they against the citizens in time of peace. Spinoza warns against the dangers of secretive governance and the potential for abuse by those in power. This quote critiques the concealment of information and the manipulative tactics that undermine public trust and freedom. Encourages transparency and accountability in leadership, highlighting the need for open governance for the health of a society. We feel and experience ourselves to be eternal. Spinoza suggests that our sense of eternity stems from our consciousness, which transcends the physical world. This quote conveys the idea that our essence is not finite. We are part of a continuous reality that endures. It inspires us to consider our lives and actions as part of a larger, enduring whole, giving a sense of purpose and connection. It is the part of a wise man, I say, to refresh and restore himself in moderation with pleasant food and drink, with sense, with the beauty of green plants, with decoration, music, sports, the theater, and other things of this kind, which anyone can use without injury to another. Spinoza acknowledges the importance of finding joy and rejuvenation in life's simple pleasures as a reflection of wisdom. This quote advocates for a balanced life where indulgence in simple pleasures sustains our well-being without causing harm. It encourages us to embrace life's pleasures in moderation as a way to enhance our life experience and maintain harmony. Minds, however, are conquered not by arms, but by love and nobility. Spinoza emphasizes that true influence over others is gained through virtues of love and noble character, not force. The essence of this quote lies in the power of moral force over physical force in winning hearts and minds. It inspires a vision of a world where compassion and integrity are the driving forces behind meaningful change and relationships. He who seeks to regulate everything by law is more likely to arouse vices than to reform them. It is best to grant what cannot be abolished, even though it be in itself harmful. How many evils spring from luxury, envy, avarice, drunkenness, and the like, yet these are tolerated because they cannot be prevented by legal enactments. Spinoza critiques the over-reliance on laws, suggesting that excessive legal control can backfire. The quote underscores the limitation of laws in shaping human behavior, pointing out that some vices are inherent to human nature. Encourages a more holistic and understanding approach to governance, recognizing the complexities of human behavior. The supreme mystery of despotism, its prop and stay, is to keep men in a state of deception, and with the specious title of religion to cloak the fear by which they must be held in check, so that they will fight for their servitude as if for salvation. Spinoza reveals how despotic regimes use deception and fear, disguised as religion, to maintain control. The quote reflects the manipulation of belief systems to maintain power and suppress freedom. It warns of the dangers of political and religious manipulation, advocating for awareness and freedom of thought. The superstitious know how to reproach people for their vices better than they know how to teach them virtues, and they strive not to guide men by reason, but to restrain them by fear, so that they flee the evil rather than love virtues. Such people aim only to make others as wretched as they themselves are, so it is no wonder that they are generally burdensome and hateful to men. Spinoza criticizes those who use superstition and fear to control others, highlighting a lack of genuine moral guidance. This quote denounces the use of fear and reproach as tools of control, rather than fostering understanding and virtue. Encourages a shift from fear-based control to a more enlightened approach based on reason and virtue, promoting constructive growth. He alone is free who lives with free consent under the entire guidance of reason. Spinoza posits that true freedom comes from living life guided by reason, not by external constraints or impulses. This quote emphasizes the importance of rational autonomy in achieving personal liberty. Encourages an approach to life where decisions and actions are governed by thoughtful deliberation and self-determination. All things excellent are as difficult as they are rare. Spinoza reflects on the inherent challenge in achieving excellence, noting its rarity and value. The quote underlines the idea that true excellence requires significant effort and is not commonly found. It inspires a dedication to perseverance and excellence, recognizing that remarkable achievements are often the result of hard work and dedication. Appreciation for joining our journey.